Uh-oh. Wait a minute. This isn't Risk of Rain. No, it isn't. It's not Risk of Rain. And this is a very strange intro. It is a late night session. It is one of those times where you and I go on another rambling adventure. But this time, I'm thinking of changing it up. So instead of Risk of Rain, seeing as this game has gathered quite a resurgency, I thought, let's play some Monster Hunter World. I forgot that's what my character looks like. Do you know what? I like it. I just felt like playing some Monster Hunter World. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like every now and then it's a good idea to change the game up a bit. Physically and metaphorically. It provides a fresh coat of paint, so to speak. You get accustomed to something for too long and you tend to get predictable. And when you become predictable, it doesn't become fun anymore. And while I do love Risk of Rain, it is something that I want to be surprised by, which I do get surprised by RNG, but I'm fluffing about. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna try this, and we're gonna see how it goes. And either way, we're gonna have a fun time. Now, this isn't going to be an aimless video. There is a goal in mind. There is something that I want to get done. And that's why I believe this is going to be a very successful gaming session for me. So, it's probably better if I use visual aids. Just for my own benefit as well. Just so I can see what I need to do. First, let's get our login bonus. Bit of bug. Great. Winter Star ticket, Joyful ticket, more tickets that I don't know what to do with. Great. So, my goal here is to, if I can find it, layered armor. Perfect. Now, a little bit of backstory. I love Monster Hunter. I love Monster Hunter World. I'll talk a bit more about it later while we're hunting. But I just want to do a quick little backstory. So I went on a mad spree a couple of years ago just farming out all of these layered armors, and this one wasn't fun, but somehow I did it. But the more I look at them now, so if we do preview here, you know, these are all great. This one was a pain. This one was an absolute pain, but it looks absolutely dapper, so it was well worth the pain. But I think the one thing these all have in common is they're very sort of, what's the word? They're sort of medium armor styles, if that makes sense. They're very, you know, hugging the body, very, you know, they're cool and they look great and they're imposing and intimidating. But I think what I'm trying to say is I need thick. I need something thick to differentiate. Ooh, these actually look kind of cool. It's kind of hard to see the actual armor itself. But I think what I want is something thick. Which, I really love this armor though. I love the aesthetic here. Just in everything, like this aesthetic is beautiful. Like with Asura's Wrath, beautiful. But I'm digressing. I think there's one layered armor set that I'm quite interested in. And I'm trying to see if I can, here it is. This one. I kind of want to grab the alpha set here. So Guiding Wasteland Dragonbone. That's what I need. Now how do I do that? Guiding Wasteland Dragonbone. That is a very good question. How do I do that? I thought I just needed to hunt some black Rathaloses, black Diabloses. Okay. Okay, we have our goal. Now we just have to do something with it. So the goal is to get a guiding dragon bone from the wasteland. So, guiding lands, obviously. Guiding lands. Let's have a look at our regions. So wasteland, obviously, is going to be... That's level 4. Can I get one of those from a level 4? Because if I can't, then what is this all for? What am I doing here? Let's give it a try. So we'll go to the first camp. So let's depart. And I'll see if I can find something. And then maybe we'll hunt some monsters. Level it up. See what happens. And then, yeah. Just do some stuff. Talk about some stuff. Call it a night. And everybody goes home happy. I'm very optimistic tonight. Very optimistic. Here we go. Right. No supplies here. And I have a fish on my back. And we're gonna give this a go. Just for reference, I'm not a greatsword player. I've been learning how to greatsword. I have been learning. But it's very unsuccessful. Because I never gravitated towards a greatsword. I was always... I believe my first weapon was a... It was a... Insect glaive. An insect glaive. That was my first weapon. And from there, I believe my second weapon of choice... I beat the whole game with an insect glaive. I was very stubborn. I said once I found my weapon, which was insect glaive, I'm going to stick to it. And so I went from an insect glaive to a charge blade. And that was an experience. A very, very big experience. Because the two are so different. Insect glaive, you know, was fairly self-explanatory. You farm your stuff up and you get your Kinsect buffs and then you just wail on the boss. And if you have any inkling that you're going to get hit, you vault into the air, you do your descending thrust, and you do mad yams to the boss, and you just continue on as normal. Now, when I first picked up Charge Blade, that was a lot more than I bargained for. Because you had an entire hidden mechanic that I did not know about. Which was a little mechanic called guard points. And when I get into something, I really do my research on it. I try to learn everything I can about it, and so essentially I started studying for the Charge Blade. I studied about guard points, I studied about the animations that would trigger a guard point, I studied the shield buffs, I studied how the guard points, when your shield is charged, can actually help to build up stun or stagger against a monster, and you can actually knock out a monster with your shield. And it's a very interesting thing. And I came to like Charge Blade, and it's funny, because when I finally learned Charge Blade, that was the day I finally beat Alatreon. It's a very weird thing. And to this day, it's a very, very strange occurrence, but I can't beat Alatreon unless I'm using a Charge Blade. It's impossible for me. Let me see if I can find a dragon bone pile somewhere. Which I don't think I can. Is there anything here? Maybe. Maybe not. No. And so it's a very strange occurrence. I've tried other weapons, I've tried other things. I cannot beat Alatreon with anything but a charge blade. Savage Axe just works too well for me. I tried using Insect Glaive, couldn't do it. I couldn't get the damage checks, I couldn't trigger any of the elemental checks, and it was just hell to get through. Right, so there's no other dragon bones that I can actually find here without wasting a bunch of time. So I'm not really sure what to do here. Is there a monster I can fight here? Maybe I can level up my area, because from the dragon bone pile that I did get, I didn't manage to get anything close to a weathered dragon bone. So let's see what monsters we have here. We have a Legiana, a Zinogre, and an Ebony Odogaron. None of those, which I believe will actually level up my Wildspire wastes. So with that being said, let's travel to the camp and let's see if we can lure out a monster that might be beneficial to our cause. Handler. Uh-oh. Let's do... Okay, don't know what that is. Lure out monster? Turn in results. Report investigation. Okay, nothing. So the whole thing was kind of pointless. And then we go back to the handler. And we do lure out monster. Now, what would be something nice and breezy? And the answer is simple. Baroth. A Baroth or Kulu Yaku Kuku Bubu. Let's do a Baroth. Nice and breezy. And so yeah. Weapons are very strange and very situational. Can't do Alatreon without a charge blade. Can't do Fatalis without a hammer. Speaking of hammer, that was my third weapon of choice. And I love the hammer. I really do. I love to bonk. And the bonk loves me. It treats me well, and I'm happy with it. So Fatalis can only be done with the hammer. Safi'jiiva, I learned the bowgun just for Safi'jiiva, because with the party I have, the friend group I have, when sometimes we play Monster Hunter together and we do Safi'jiiva, nobody can get the wings except me. So I had to learn bowgun. And yeah, so my history with this game is quite interesting, considering that my history with this game started only, I'd say, 3 years ago in 2020. Oh, hello. Allow me to do this. Okay, never mind. Allow me to do that again, please, sir. So yeah, 2020 is when I started this game. And it was my first Monster Hunter. Definitely my first Monster Hunter. And, well, I don't really know what else to say. I got addicted. Very easily. Very easily got addicted. I had all of quarantine to play this game, and... oh, yeah. Just had all that time. And I was consistently playing, consistently doing stuff, because I was told it's a very good game. But I think, like many people, I was skeptical. Because you look at it and you think, well, how is this fun? It looks janky, it looks a bit like it's not finished, it looks a bit, would I have fun with this? And then you try it and you think, holy crap, this is amazing. And as soon as I've played the base game, I was told to get Iceborne from the beginning, but obviously I'm skeptical. As soon as I finished the first few missions, I picked up Iceborne. The armor looked cool, everything looked amazing, and I wanted to be a part. Okay, I wanted to be a part of it. What the hell happened here? So, yeah. All that time playing Monster Hunter, I have very good memories. And here we are, 3 years later, whole game completed, and I'm still playing. So it does warm my heart to see that this thing has gotten a resurgency. Oh, that's hard to watch. That is so hard to watch. So, like I said, I'm completely new to Greatsword, so you'll have to forgive me if I'm not playing the most amazing way, but it is what it is, and I like to do jumping attacks a lot, because the jumping attack is the most powerful move in the game. Always, the jumping attack has proved to be the most powerful move. It's never failed me. And I'll show you right now. Look, the jumping attack. Told you, it's never failed. That move was a whole world away from actually connecting, but for some reason, it connected. What? Oh, the Grimmelkinds. That's interesting. Okay, full charge. And I'm probably using a very bad ability for the actual Greatsword itself. I don't know if I have a good build. All I know is that it bonk and bonk hard. So, yeah. I'm slowly picking it up, the whole charging thing, but the positioning part of the weapon is giving me the runaround. I can't say that the positioning part of the weapon is doing me any favors, because I've never actually had to do much positioning. I kind of either parry or I just vault into a better position. I've never had to stake everything on having the positioning right from the get-go. And I think it's a good learning experience. The damage numbers are nice though, I can't lie, with Greatsword. I always had a disdain for the Greatsword. And I think it was just the fact that it didn't feel cool. Not to me in the beginning, it didn't feel cool. And I just couldn't do it. It was slow, it felt clunky to me, and it just felt more satisfying to bonk with a hammer or to use that descending thrust and just strike down with the force of a meteor onto a monster's head. That to me had more satisfaction. It had more intrinsic value to do that. So I was very much into that. And when you have that kind of feeling, you never really want to change. It's difficult to go to something you don't know. But yeah, I'm having fun, I'd say. Maybe it helps that I have a weapon that adds a comedy value to me. I like the idea of I'm beating these monsters with a giant frozen kingfish. That to me is intrinsic value. It's funny. It is funny, but you know, it's the little things that give you joy in a game that make you want to play it more and more and more. But like I've also been saying in my Risk of Rain videos, I've come to enjoy the idea of challenging myself a lot more. And I think this is perfect because I don't know how this weapon works. I'm learning and I'm not making every hit count, and I'm having fun doing all this. I'm not getting frustrated. Maybe it's because I'm not fighting a hard monster. Maybe if I took a greatsword into Fatalis, I would genuinely want to uninstall the game. But I don't know. That's only something you can tell when you actually do the activity. Oh god, this range is giving me a bit of a conniption though. Bonk. That is really satisfying though. Are you gonna come to me? Nope. Just out of range. Let me see if I can use my sliding attack. Nope. I'm gonna need to back up and heal. Drink my potions from the potion seller. It was ineffective. Barrier used. Bonk. What if I run down like this and do one of these? Nope, ineffective. What if I try again? And that didn't work. Ooh, what was that? A whirlwind slash. Oh, no. Unlucky. That was just bad. Oh, no, mosquito. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Roll away. Drink another potion. Glug, 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 glug. Receive the healing. I wonder what's in those potions. Do you think it's just like monster goop? Oh, it's that. It's the thing I don't like about this as well is every other weapon has sort of like a, what's it? You don't have to press the button twice, but for the greatsword you do. Ay, that was just a fool's errand right there. Is there anything I can wallbang it into, just to open up a few things? No, never mind. It doesn't want to know. It doesn't want to know. I'm stunned. Right, this stunning thing, right? That's another thing I want to talk about, because I have the Fatalis gear. You're not supposed to get stunned. Wait, what? Wait. What's going on? What are you doing? Boss. Stop that. Oh! Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Drink more potion. Yeah, so I have the Fatalis gear, and you're supposed to have stun resistance, right? Isn't that sort of what the Fatalis gear does? It makes you basically, well, not overpowered, but it's supposed to give you a lot of quality of life stuff. What monster? Oh, that was a big hit. What monster was I tracking? That seems to have left. The Zinogre? Oh, that would make sense, the Zinogre. Come back here, come back here. Okay, doesn't matter. I did see a bone pile, so I want to go try and get that. Now the question is, where did I find it? I think here? Yeah, here we go. Hopefully we get something good. Weathered crag bone, weathered crag bone. Yeah, so I think I just need to pick some more bones, and then I'll get access to better ones. I think my bone collecting in this area is quite low, but that's alright. That's something to work towards. That's why we're here. To just knock out what we can. To just knock out what we can while we can do it. And if we don't do it in this little late night session, then that's alright. We'll do it another time. Right now, we hunt the monsters, we earn our prizes, we wallbang. Hopefully this works. Yep, nice. All that time for my raging Brachydios hasn't lost me. this even gonna do anything? That's a kick in the teeth. Holy moly, that's such a kick in the teeth. I had it all prepared, I had it all set up, and it didn't even work. Holy guacamole. What is wrong with me? Funny thing is, I have... How many hours do I have in this game? I think I have almost like 400 and something. It's one of my most played games on Steam. And I still haven't tried every weapon. There's some weapons I've just not touched. What weapon haven't I touched? I think I haven't touched Hunting Horn. And I haven't touched Lance. And I haven't touched Gun Lance either. And I do want to try Lance, but I feel like with Lance and Gun Lance, it's a very niche weapon. You know, that weapon doesn't have a... I think it does have a role. It has a very substantial role. But I think what it has is, it has a very limited function. There's not much you can do with it to create a feedback response from it. At least in my opinion. Which doesn't really have any weight, considering I haven't used the weapon. So, take that as you will. But that's kind of where I stand. It just kind of feels like with a lance, you just poke, 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 a little hop, and then you poke again, and then eventually the monster dies. But then you can also say right now, I'm doing the same thing here with the greatsword. I'm not really using the weapon efficiently. I'm sort of just smacking until the thing dies. And yeah, you'll get the job done, but would you really feel satisfied with the adequacy of how you've done? Because right now I feel kind of like I'm still getting my feet wet, but I also feel like, you know, this is taking a bit too long now. But I guess that was something I had to learn with this game as well. That the speed wasn't everything. That this was a slower sort of game. That's why they give you 50 minutes per hunt. The hunt isn't meant to be quick. You're meant to take your time. You're meant to run around the map. You're meant to be staggered, and you're meant to feel like you're not getting anywhere sometimes. Oh, that didn't do much. But it looks like all that damage we've been doing has accumulated, and we're at the final stretch. Now, do I let you sleep? I don't think I will. I think we're gonna go, ooh, maybe I could. And then wallbang? That would be a reasonable tactic. Maybe. Possibly. So let's do one of these, and then one of these. Nice. Just as planned. 1, 2, 3. Is there like a quick charge that I could put on the greatsword? Is that something? Oh, that's a true charge slash? I thought I still had one more slash in me. Let's see if I can find some quick slinger ammo. Yep. Oh no, he's enraged. I just have a lot of fun memories with this game. A lot of fun memories of just playing this on my own. And whenever I grind, I have a habit of sort of windowing the game and then putting something on in the background. And back then, because I remember it so vividly, because obviously you'd spend a lot of time doing something. That's where the whole idea of nostalgia comes from. The fact that you've done something so much, it becomes a very strong memory in your mind. And I distinctly remember that I played this game around the same time I discovered Parks and Recreation. Yes, I discovered it very, very late, but I discovered it, and that's just how the timeline goes. There's our sleigh, but I just always associate this game with Parks and Recreation because for me the two were inextricably linked. I always watched Parks and Recreation on the side of my screen while I was playing Monster Hunter. And it was just, it was fun. It was good. I liked it a lot. And I wish I could capture those moments again. Or at least go back in time. Just to express to myself how much those times meant. Because it might seem like a very simple thing at the time. You know, you just, oh, it's just a TV show and it's just a game. A lot of people say that, you know, about games nowadays. That, oh, it's just a game. I don't understand why they play it so much, why they do these things. And it's never just a game. It's a memory. It's a time of your life. And it's yeah, it's something you can think about and remember that, you know, in your bad days there were good days. So I don't really mind saying to myself that, yeah, I spent all day playing Monster Hunter when I could have been learning other skills. You know, during lockdown, people were learning other skills. People were doing a lot more progressive things. They were reading more. They were maybe practicing an instrument. Maybe they were learning how to draw. I spent my time playing Monster Hunter, and I don't regret a single bit at all. I don't. Because I still play this game, and I still enjoy it. I love it. It's great. Because this is my first Monster Hunter. It is. I was never one for Rise. Don't think I was one for Rise. At all. Is this my only greatsword? It is. Should I build another greatsword? Is that something I can do? Oh, I love this hammer. I love it so much. I had to get the I had to get the layered armor for this, because when I saw the Shara Ishvalda layered armor, it's just, for me, it's brilliant. There is nothing better than slamming a monster with the hand of Buddha. To me, that's just such an amazing thing. I saw it and I said to myself, that is the weapon for me. And I think what I might do is, I actually do want to go have a look at some great swords. So I think I'm going to go do that very, very quickly. Right, back here. Still El Dorado. When is Safijiva coming? I swear it's supposed to come today. If not today, it's definitely going to be here tomorrow. Alright, let's have a look. So, upgrade equipment. And let's find that Buster... There, Buster Sword. And let's have a look at the options we have here. Oh, that looks good. Severing Bolt. Paladire. Glacial Demon. These look pretty good. Rathalos Gleam Sword. A Winged Seraphid. This looks good for Alatreon. This might be good for Alatreon. That's a very high ice damage. And then if you add some, maybe some Frost Jewels, I think you can easily you can easily hit 800. And I think 800 is sort of a good point for Alatreon to make sure you get that damage check. I used to fight Alatreon so much I just knew its abilities. Like the back of my hand. And then I took a break from this game for a long time. Well, a couple of months. But to me that was a long time. Came back. It's not as simple anymore. So, let's, what am I doing now? That's a very good question you've just asked. What am I doing? I think what I'm going to do is continue on our quest in the Wastelands. And, I don't know how much I'm going to do, because these hunts do get quite long. And I don't want this to drag out too much. So I think guiding lands. Let's have a look at the okay. I see. So my bone gathering for the wild spire wastes is basically insignificant. So I need to rack that up. So how do I do that? Do I have to keep like spawning back in and out just to reset all of the spawn points for the gatherables? Because that's kind of boring, and I can do that in my own time. That would make for a boring sort of tag-along video. What's the point of playing Monster Hunter if you don't hunt monsters, you know? It's kind of in the title card. Oh no, Nightshade Paolumu. Is that something I would like to partake in? Because the sleep might be annoying. Do you know what? Let's see if we can find some bones first. And then if it's still here, we'll go for it. But let's have a little hunt for some bones. I'm not entirely sure where the spawning points are for them. What's that? There's something here. There's a question mark. Ah, here we are. So we just exhaust these. I think that's how it works. You exhaust them and then it works them up to a higher level, I believe. So I'm looking for a question mark. Can I zoom? Yeah, I can. I'm looking for a question mark. Where is it? Unless they don't show on the map. Which they might not. It's a possibility. What are these purple things? Purple things are Kestodons. I don't think they show up on the map until you come across them. So I guess we'll just be doing a little bit of running here. Just a little zoomy zoom. Run, Barry. Run. Mining. Mining is always good. 1, 2. I think you only do 2. Otherwise, if you do 3, you exhaust it. And if I exhaust it, then my bar goes up. And if my bar goes up to the maximum, it will reset. And that means I can't farm up dragon coal. I think I've just remembered that that's what I used to do a lot. To do Steamworks. Because I'm a very silly person. I am very silly. And I'll explain to you why I'm silly. 1, 2. Okay. Okay, I did 3 by accident. Gosh darn it. So I am a silly person. So back when I was making certain gear, you have progression. As always, you have progression. But some of this gear was incredibly hard for me to get. Okay. Oh, bollocks. Yeah, that's the... I just kind of beans that one too. So some of the gear was quite hard to get. And at the time, I was having an incredibly hard time dealing with Raging Brachyleos. Just could not do it. I kept trying and trying and trying, but that thing was boxing me up way too easily, and I was not having a single bit of it. Not a single bit of it. I was upset. I was frustrated. I was everything you can imagine. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm human. I make irrational decisions when put under stress, and I said nope, not gonna do it. So what did I do? I chose the stupidest way, and I spent days on the Steamworks, constantly trying to get the ×10 Celestial Wyvern tickets. Now, those things are not very easy to come by. Hello. But for some reason I kept persisting. Eventually I got it, but it took days. Also, I could get that reactor heart and make what I needed. Was it worth it? No clue. Still can't tell you. But it was an adventure. I'll tell you that. It was definitely an adventure. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Beyblade. And then we weaken again. And then we charge up. 2, 3. Slap you with the hand of God. And we charge up again. And bang, 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 bang. And now we weaken again. And now 1, 2. Slide in. Hit and run tactics. 1, 2. I missed. 1, 2. Bonk. 1, 2. Bonk. That was a lovely hit by the Paolumu. 1, 2. Bonk. Charge up. 1, 2. Ah, yeah, should have just gone 1. That probably would have been a better choice. 1, 2, 3. 1. Nice. Nice. Break the wings. It's knocked out again. Holy moly. Take advantage. 1. 1, 2, 3. Get the other wing. This is pretty good. Ah, I knew it was going to happen at some point. The inevitable. 1, 2. Swipe up. Back up. 1, 2, 3. This is greedy. But it worked. It worked. Somehow it worked. I'll take it. Boom, boom. Hopefully I don't fall asleep. No, no, I'm falling asleep. I'm awake. And I'm falling asleep. And I'm awake. And this is now classified as bullying. So let's get out of the corner. Let's actually try and see if we can get it down to this little clearing. Because that'll be a lot easier to work with. Let's hit this spore puff. It doesn't know where I am, so let's take this chance to get a quick mega potion. Ooh, unlucky timing. The Paolumu is always something that, you know, when you first meet it, you just absolutely hate it. And then they give you the Nightshade Paolumu. They pair up one of the most obnoxious monsters with one of the most annoying detriments. Because sleep is bad. Sleep is so bad. It's a dangerous one, but I don't know. I feel like it's a rule of thumb with any monster that when you first fight it, it's going to suck the most ginormous amount of monkey butt. And I'm not talking about Rajang. that will come later. But once you finally do get to it and you realize how it sort of works, then it's not too bad. And I think everybody has their own way of figuring out how it works. I think for me, what worked was understanding that I didn't have to rush into every single hit. That there were times where I could back up and think about my moves before I made them. I had enough time. For some reason I had this conditioning that every hunt had to be sub 20 minutes. And you know, it's silly because you're given 50 minutes per hunt, and in the Guiding Lands you have no limit. You have until the monster goes away, which could be honestly whenever. So once I figured out that there's, you know, no really need to rush, my hunt started to become instantly so much more relaxing. It's counterintuitive, but hunting monsters became therapeutic. For my character, it's probably stressful as hell. You know, you're fighting these monsters that have talons as hard as spears and eyes as piercing as daggers and, you know, scales as tough as steel. Please don't make me fall asleep. Okay, went for the head. Okay, great. But yeah, for me, it's relaxing. It becomes stressful when there's a time limit for me. That's when I start to panic. So for things like Safijiva or for things like Fatalis, you know that certain things have to be done a certain way. And if you don't, you run the risk of failing. And if you fail, obviously, one, you feel like all your effort has gone nowhere. And two, you feel like you've achieved nothing because you haven't gotten your materials. Which also is quite disappointing and makes it less easier or less likely for you to want to tackle it again. Unless persistence is how you find enjoyment. And if that is how you find enjoyment, then have at it. Keep going until you pass out. Keep going until you're finally frustrated. But I know for a lot of people, the harder something gets, the more easier it is to get frustrated. And when you get frustrated, it makes it harder to want to keep going. And you just feel like every single run is just not working for you because you're already in that mindset where you feel like it's not going to work for you. So yeah, I know it's a game. I understand that. I understand I'm probably making it sound like it's work, but honestly, it's interesting. It's just interesting to me, these types of things. Let me see if I can poison you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Upswing. I missed the upswing, but let me get out of the poison. Oh, I got poisoned anyway. Dang. But luckily I have the health affinity boost on my hammer, so if I hit the monster enough times, I will regain a chunk of my health back, which has saved me a lot in the past. It's only level 1. I don't think I've ever managed to get level 3, but we ball. I do appreciate the simplicity of the hammer sometimes. It's not the most flashy weapon like longsword, but longsword is something that I never got into either. And I think it's nothing against the longsword. When I have used it, I've had fun. But I think I have this innate need to be different. It's I won't say it's strange because it's fairly understandable. Like if someone said that to me, I would get it. So I won't say that it's strange, or I won't say that it's kind of weird. But I would say that is kind of my disposition. That I don't like to follow. I like to carve my own path. If that path takes me down the longsword way, then sure thing, that's my path. I will play longsword and I have no issues doing it. But if I'm told to play longsword because, oh, I think you'll like it, and then I find out everybody else is using longsword for the exact same reason you're telling me to use longsword, they think they'll like it, or the parry is good, you know, the dodge, the offensive dodge, or I will say this about longsword, because I do sound like I'm just hating on it for no reason. It's very fluid. I like its fluidity, and I will give it that. The longsword is such a fluid weapon, and it looks amazing when you get into that flow state of just knowing exactly where to be, knowing exactly what to do, getting the moves off in succession, and constantly running that routine of, you know, EI slash, if that's how you say it, or the helm splitter, and then you go into the dodge, and then you go straight back into another helm splitter, and it's all one sweeping, like, flowing water. And it is cool. But I do prefer the heavy bonks of an earth-shattering hammer. Or a greatsword. Now, you know, a new horizon. Maybe one day I will come to love longsword, like I do the hammer, or like I do the fast-moving, you know, the fast-moving, transitional-based weapon that is the insect glaive. Or maybe I'll love the absolute just resilience of the charge blade. Maybe one day. Haha, quick mount. But I think as with all things, it's time. You need time to just get used to it. Or maybe even the bow. I feel like the bow has a fluidity to it. 1, 2, 3. Break your spine. Down on the ground. Hit this. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I do like the little charge clutch claw follow-up that the hammer has. I think that's such a nice move. I think it's brilliant. Part's broken. That's brilliant. Hold. Can I get you stunned? No. We reached the box, the height limit. Like, I don't want to hurt you, but you're just kind of there, so it has to be done, if that makes sense. And there we go. Done. Slapped with the hand of God. It's a shame, but nature has its way. Ooh. Oh god, looking at all this. I remember back when I started, I used to look up all these different builds. And it would all be builds that had like 3 attack jewels. And back then I didn't even have 1 attack jewel. The only reason I have some of these is because I think when Alatreon dropped, they were giving them out as a login reward. I didn't earn these. I was given them. So, you know, it's conflicting emotions at this point. I think most of my hours in this game are spent in this decoration menu. And I believe that might be true for a lot of other people. Let's go to my room. Oh, Safijiva's finally available. Nice. Alright, I love Safijiva. Safijiva feels like a healthy fight. Like it feels like a genuine, like healthy fight. I don't know what that means, and I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels like a healthy fight. Okay. Oh, my room. I love my room. My room's great. Has my Rajang swing. There's everything here. My penguins. My golden boy. Okay. Let's take a seat in the hot spring. Just chill out. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Raise my head. I have to do as the monkey do. Bonk. Okay. Well. That was actually very interesting. We got some good fights done, some good reintroductions back into Monster Hunter for me. And maybe next time I'll do another one of these. And maybe we'll go on to some harder monsters. Might regret that decision. Probably will. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. So yeah, bit of a different one this time around. And probably be back on Risk of Rain soon. Might do one of those again. I do have a voice meme thing that I was sent that I'm kind of interested in doing. So I'm probably going to tinker with that a little bit before putting that out. It'll be a very short video anyway. But yeah, just a few things that might be coming out soon. No ETA, but pre-warning, I guess, just in case somebody is interested. But yeah, Monster Hunter, great, done, finished, end of video. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. Take care, and bye-bye. The show's over. You can go home now. Alright, see ya.